Hi there, I'm Filia Garivaldis, the course director and convener of the Master of Behaviour and Systemic Change. I have a social and organisational psychology background, and in more recent years, I've been teaching behavioural science and behaviour change. My research concerns educational best practice and the use of behavioural principles to improve teaching and learning.
And I'm David Robertson, an educator in this exciting new program. I've got a background in environmental science and science communication, and the current phase of my career is all about building people's capacity to grapple with the complex challenges of our world through systems thinking, innovation, and finding and developing their own creativity for this purpose. I'm going to start a screen share, which then Filia will give you an overview of the purpose of this video and the presentation.
Thanks, David. So yes, this is a short video that we've prepared to introduce you to the Master of Behaviour and Systemic Change. We will begin with a brief summary of the context in which this course is situated, and we will discuss the course in detail, including the what, when, and how you will learn behaviour and systemic change. But first, we'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land from which David and I are coming to you today, the Bunurong people at Clayton, where our offices are located, and we'd like to pay our respects to their elders and leaders, past, present, and emerging. We recognise the significant contributions Indigenous knowledges and modes of understanding can make on the way we learn and practice education, and how we conduct our research and our collaboration with our partners. We also recognise that, like the traditional custodians, preparing the next generation is a collective effort contributed to by many, and that learning needs to be a holistic process involving more than just the acquisition of knowledge. Experiential and emotional reflection are also important. Now, the complex challenges of our times, such as climate change, resource depletion, economic inequality, social injustice, and global health crises are deeply interconnected. On the one hand, there's what we see in terms of what people do in terms of these challenges, but also there's what we don't see, the entrenched systems, the economic, social, and political systems that create these challenges. These systems often prioritise short-term gains over long-term gains. Let's take the example of plastic pollution. It's been a problem for many years, it's growing exponentially, and it's not been solved. The problem of obesity is not just a person problem, but also a systems problem. And finally, social inequality is only growing. So Monash University recognises these challenges and the importance of addressing these challenges, and has set an ambitious agenda for addressing them, and in particular addressing climate change, geopolitics and security, and the health of our communities. So what is the solution? We recognise that there is a need for transformative societal change. The problems require both a behavioural and a systemic approach to be applied. Behavioural change focuses on transforming individual and collective actions, promoting more sustainable ways of consuming, of making decisions, and other preventative practices. For example, coming back to our problem of plastic pollution, it could be that behaviours that are addressed include encouraging people to reduce single-use plastic, to adopt reusable alternatives, or to recycle more consistency, just to name a few.
And while behavioural lenses and approaches are very powerful, they're insufficient without systemic change, which can involve restructuring the larger frameworks, policies, institutions, cultural norms and values that influence our everyday practices and behaviours. So systemic change seeks to reshape the underlying systems that drive unsustainable and unequal practices, and encourages the implementation of processes and solutions that are scalable, equitable, and lasting. Again, referring to the context of plastic pollution, systemic change might include advocating for and advancing circular economy practices. It may include aspects of technological innovation. It might include regulation, corporate responsibility for product design, packaging, policy, and as well as changing cultures and relationships that people have and their expectations around material consumption. Now, at MSDI, change in relation to complex challenges is what we do. We have more than a decade of working with industry partners across sectors and disciplines to create programs that transform communities, places, systems, and behaviour. Now, that deep expertise has particular specialist parts like the Behaviour Works Australia, Climate Works Centre, who work on advocacy and impact for net zero, our flagship transformative research programs that are transdisciplinary, which are RISE and Fire to Flourish, as well as an existing broad education program that has curricular units that are taught into different parts of Monash University, co-curricular experiences for students, and professional and executive education programs that reach and work with our industry partners. Now, the network, expertise, methodologies, thought leadership, and theory from across this whole network of programs and partners has informed this Masters of Behaviour and Systemic Change. I know the impact that transformative education can have because I'm actually a product of one of MSDI's longest standing programs, which is a student sustainability leadership program that I completed in intensive form in 2007. And it had quite a profound impact on my perspective on the world and my values around what I wanted to achieve in my career, as well as building my skills. So I'm really excited about this new offer because it is a whole lot bigger than the program that I completed, but built on the same principles of advancing powerful change and bringing together expertise to enable people to do that. And we know that these kinds of transformative change skills and approaches are needed and are recognized by industry, but are not well trained or not well offered in existing programs like bachelor's degrees yet. So on the left-hand side of the slide that you're looking at now is a survey that we conducted with a number of our industry partners and network a few years ago around 21st century skills for dealing with complex problems and whether people were aware of them, whether they were maybe even starting to use them, and whether they'd been trained in them. And then we found that there was a big gap between people's awareness of these programs in practice, people out in the workforce now trying to grapple with complex problems and whether they thought human-centered design, behavioral insights, systems thinking, impact evaluation were relevant to them, and whether they'd been trained in them. So what we're offering in this Masters is the chance to get strong, powerful training in many of these skills. And we also know that we can deliver that because we work already with industry partners across a whole range of sectors.
And at MSDI, as David already mentioned on the previous slide, we are already meeting the demands of industry professionals from a diverse range of backgrounds and representing a wide range of sectors. So they come to us for professional development mostly. The pie chart that you see here on the right is a snapshot of the sectors that are represented by the working professionals we have delivered behaviour change training to over the last 4 years. So as you can see that there is a broad relevance of both behaviour change and some systemic change tools and methods across all of these sectors. So the Master of Behaviour and Systemic Change brings together all of these skills, tools, methods that we have been using daily in our work with partners in a comprehensive, single accredited program.
And we think there's a number of powerful reasons why this course is right for people who want to make a career in making change. One is that the design of the course is specific. It is built from scratch with the intention of building capacity for change in relation to complex problems. The expertise that we're drawing on and that the course will give you access to is diverse, both within MSDI and our ecosystem of partners, but also access to the amazing knowledge and expertise that's within Monash University more broadly and its faculties. We've got a cast of educators who are dedicated, passionate. Many of us are award-winning educators and we want to deliver the best program possible. It's practical. So while it is a master's and does include theory, we always bring that back to application, grappling with real world problems and building your skills for practice. And also the peers, we want to support, create a cohort in which you will learn from and with other people who are passionate about creating change, and they will become your future network.
So broadly speaking, this master's program is for those who see the discord in the systems around them, whether in businesses, governments, or social structures. And they see ways that people could be doing things differently in their lives and in their work and want to lead transformative change. So you may be a working professional. You may have extensive experience in industry already. You may be looking to refine your skills, to broaden your networks, or to remain current with evolving trends. Perhaps you have ideas. Perhaps you've come across opportunities for better ways of delivering on community expectations and government policy. So your goal may be to use your position, your existing position, to influence change for a better future. If you are a domestic graduate, you may have been inspired by your undergraduate studies and want to be part of a solution towards a better world. You may want to embark on a career that will position you at the heart of where change takes place in government, business, the third sector organizations, or NGOs. You may be looking to be empowered and transformed, and you may be excited to grapple with wicked problems, contexts, and challenges. Or you might be an international student or an international graduate. You may be looking to pursue a double master's program, so the Master of Behaviour and Systemic Change alongside, say, a Master of Management or a Master of Global Business. So you may recognise the need and the benefit of a well-rounded education, combining both strategic management with specialised knowledge for influencing outcomes. You may also need to complete a 2-year course. So this course equips you with the powerful transferable skills that will serve you well in any role. And some of you might already be working in roles like the ones that are listed on this slide. A number of functions you complete at work will become better with the skills and tools in behaviour change and systemic change that you will gain from this course. Strategic decision-making, influencing people and outcomes, defining and setting directions, designing, implementing, and measuring change, and any project that requires a champion or a leader who knows what an effective real-world change project looks like or requires. So these may be roles that exist in complex contexts with interdisciplinary teams that cut across boundaries and that afford opportunities for innovation. Essentially, the tools and skills you will learn are applicable to any career and will help set you apart from others in your discipline or industry. Now, here are just some of the many skills and tools that will be covered in the units you will be completing. It looks like a lot, it is a lot, but we've designed the course and the progression of the course to meet you where you are at, to enhance your skills with a thoughtful learning progression. And this is the overview of our course. This is what you would expect to see if you were looking at our course map. So as you can see, the course can be completed in 1.5 years full-time, or you can extend the course over 3 years and complete it part-time. There are a series of core units that appear in blue here, and they focus on behaviour change and systems change and how we can integrate the two. However, the course also comprises extended units, and these are to provide a holistic experience to you. So there are a number of specialist pathways with a range of elective choices that we will talk about very soon that you may select from. You may also wish to embark on a research project in behaviour and systemic change and complete a thesis, or complete a consultancy project or an internship, all of which are options that we've provided for you to select from. So let's take a look at the first year at the core units of the course, a little bit more horizontally to give you an idea of how you will be pacing your learning throughout the year. As you can see, we have 4 units being delivered in the first half of the year and 4 in the second half of the year. But let's start from the left and focus on the 3 units that are in blue. These 3 units don't run over 12 weeks like the other semester units do. They run over an intensive period of 6 weeks, with the centrepiece of each unit being a 3 consecutive day masterclass delivered in Melbourne. During these masterclasses, you will have the opportunity to apply skills and tools collaboratively with your cohort, to delve deep into the case studies that you'll be provided with, and engage with other experts at MSDI. The first unit, the Challenge of Change, is a new unit that will assist you in coming to grips with the complexity and the fluidity of a range of challenges. You will learn about what makes creating change hard, but also what's needed from you and others to support the process. And the other 2 units, Designing Impactful Change Projects in the winter and the Advanced Evaluation of Change in the summer, are where you will integrate both behaviour and systems change perspectives, first in designing and implementing change, and then in evaluation.
The units listed here in black, which run generally as 12-week semester units, support that kind of the 3 centerpiece units in there by introducing you to the core principles of systemic innovation and the behavior change method. And those are the ones that we will teach you in the first semester. So innovation to influence system change and understanding human behavior to influence change. They bring you into contact with real complex problems, and you'll apply methods to make sense of them, understand intervention options, and propose practical change projects for the real world. And while they follow a similar kind of problem-solving process, the way that they understand and unpack problems, the tools and levers for change that are available in behavioral and systemic approaches, and the kinds of projects that you will ultimately end up pitching will be very different because they adopt those kind of different lenses. Then in the second semester, you'll extend and deepen your knowledge of systemic change practice and behavioral insights. So facilitating systemic change is all about working with people in the system. How can you collaborate, connect, build relationships, and bring people along with powerful processes for implementing systemic change? An advanced understanding of behavior and decision-making deepens your insights into behavioral psychology and practice, working with evidence, and building the rigor and research mindset that you need to have a really strong backing in any decision-making that you need to take. You'll also have the option, if you're taking the 72 credit point, 1.5-year pathway, of choosing an extended studies specialization in which you engage with one of the 3 grand challenges that Monash focuses on: climate change, geopolitics and security, and health and communities. You'll select from a set of electives that are from across Monash's faculties. So things like arts, engineering, law, medicine, science, business, and how those different disciplines frame, understand, and help you to grapple with these complex problems. So you'll bring your core studies in behavior and systems change into conversation with multidisciplinary expertise about the challenge of your choice. And as we mentioned earlier, you might throw in either a thesis, consultancy project, or internship in the mix during these stages if you choose.
And as we mentioned earlier, what sets MSDI apart is its wonderful education team. So the teaching team for this master's program includes individuals with backgrounds in science and engineering, backgrounds in psychology and behavioural science or behavioural economics, international development, and with expertise in societal transitions, behaviour change, sustainable business, and finally with a long-standing experience and awards in teaching. So when it comes to your learning experience, we will do our best to enrich you with the best that there is to offer from educational principles of adult learning, which essentially means that our focus will be on skill development and tool application so that when you graduate, you are able to apply what you've learned directly into your work. You'll participate in weekly workshops, and you will collaborate with each other and work together to explore, address, and respond to challenges and case studies that you'll be presented with. There'll be a need for you to complete some independent study as well, where you'll be supported via a blend of readings and videos and activity-based learning materials. There are flexible study and attendance options offered to you. So you may opt into attending on campus and participating in our workshops at Clayton, or you may wish to participate in the online evening classes instead to suit your schedule. But you will come together at those 3 time points throughout the year, throughout the first year, to immerse yourselves, to work with each other, and to collaborate on the application of behaviour and systemic change tools, to meet MSDI experts, to network with each other, and to complete assessments.
And on that note, we're often asked, what are the kinds of assessment tasks that I'll be doing? Depending on your background, you may have had an undergraduate filled with exams, multiple choice questions, essays, or you might have had a bigger diversity of assessment tasks. The core guiding principle for us is that we want to make our assessments to the tasks that you complete as authentic as possible to the kind of practice that you'll be doing, either currently doing potentially alongside your studies or out into the career after you graduate. That might mean process portfolios, which reveal the decision-making and the work that you do to create a complex change project, writing policy briefs and memos that you would be using to brief a decision maker, presenting ideas through pitches, supporting evidence reviews, which bring together, rich areas of knowledge in a concise way, proposing new innovations for systems or behavior change, planning, implementation, and evaluation processes for realistic projects. And of course, a lot of these are very on the tools type assessments. We also want to encourage you to step back and think about the implications of what you're learning for yourself, for your relationship with systems and behavior, and for your ongoing career through reflective tasks.
But this course will offer you much more than just behaviour and systemic change tools and methods. Yes, you will gain all of the benefits of being a Monash student and graduate, but more importantly, you'll become part of MSDI's ecosystem of partners, experts, and collaborators. You will develop a network of peers that you will share this learning journey with throughout the course, but also after the course. You'll be eligible to complete this course if you have a relevant cognate background, and you can complete the course in just 1 year if you also have a relevant honours degree or industry experience. If you're not sure whether you fit any of these categories, please get in touch with us and we'll help guide you through the process. So if you think this course is right for you, I'd love to speak to you more about it. Please reach out and book a one-on-one meeting with me, and I can help you through the process of applying.
You can also check our website for more information, browse the Monash Handbook for the details of the courses, the learning outcomes, the modes of offer, all of those kind of details that we've touched on in this presentation. And if you're already convinced, you can apply now for the next intake. If you choose to take that leap, I can't wait to meet you, support your learning, and help you on your journey towards kind of making a positive change in the world. Thanks for watching this video.